Hello and welcome to another What's Inside. Today we are looking at Vast, the Crystal Caverns from Leader Games. This came out around 2017. It was 1 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, 60 to 90 minutes. And this one was a Kickstarter game, so thankfully it actually got done. But looks pretty fun and interesting. Another kind of dungeon delve style game. Sorry about the glare. I'm trying a new setup and I haven't quite figured out the lighting. So bear with me on that. So let's open this up and see what this looks like. Okay, already I can tell you the coating they used on the box is very cheap. It's very low end, feels like lacquer. It will probably not hold up well over time, so I would be aware of that over the years as these get older. This is probably going to get damaged fairly easily. But it's a very heavy box too. Okay, so here we've got a big shrink wrap package. Now I have not played this game unfortunately, but it looks pretty cool. I've heard good things, and we'll look at the contents of the box here a little more closely in a second. Let's get this thing opened and see what these rules look like. Okay, so here we have a very thick rule book. Look at that. And it's a nice size, I like that. It's not one of those weird shapes that's like really long and longer than it is tall. We've got all the components listed here. That's really cool. We've got yellow for the knight, red for the dragon, black for the thief, green for goblins, and the cave is purple. Then there's some extras, and it breaks down how many of each that you've got, which is really, really cool. So if you buy this used, you'll be able to determine if you have everything once you get it home. Unfortunately, that'll make it a little more difficult when you're just eyeballing it if you don't actually have a copy of this. But yeah, it looks like each one comes with a board, several cards, and various pieces, a token, flame walls, etc. So we'll see all the components here shortly. So that's the book. Then there's a dragon sheet, how to win, setup, summary. Kind of a quick rundown of what you need to know. Then there's one for the cave. One for the goblins. Now it might be a good idea to be very careful with these, maybe put them in some sort of protective sleeve, because the paper quality is pretty nice on this and the rule book, but you could easily see a rough game night, somebody gets a little carried away and spills a drink or something like that on it, or crumples it. These could get crinkled pretty easily. There's a list of quick tips and easily forgotten rules. Looks like some layouts. Here's the thief one. Yeah, I like the colors on here. It's nice they've got a little bit of art. Nothing particularly fancy, but nothing hideous either. It's not overwhelming with art and wasting space. That kind of bothers me. This is very concise. Reminds me of the old D&D type stuff. So then we've got the knight's board. Pretty cool. The backs are blank, so don't worry about that. So there's the knight. Then we've got the goblins. Looks like they're numbered up in the corner. And we've got the dragons. Then here's one for the cave. And lastly, the thief. So, very nice quality boards though. Nice thickness, sturdy, but not as sturdy as some of the others. But it does remind me a little bit of the quality for Clank. The Clank one is a little nicer, but these are pretty good. Okay, so that's the boards. Let's get these out of the way. Now we come to the perforated card pieces. Let's see what we've got here. Looks like we've got 4 of these type of sheets, and let's see what they look like. Alright, so these are different hallway pieces for the caverns. And the last one here. Then we've got a sheet of tokens. Okay, so the art design is pretty good. It's very simplistic, very cartoonish. On the back, it's almost identical except for this one. It looks like a slight difference maybe on those. And then we've got one with different items in it. And they're the same on both sides. Then we've got this one, which is the same on both sides. Got Sleepy Dragon, Wake Dragon. Here's some more room tokens. The exception of one, these look identical as well. This one being the one that isn't, is this Crossbones one. And these do not have the lines across it that the other side does. So you can see there's these thin white lines across there. And the same thing, this is the back of this sheet. And here's the front. Alright, so let's get these out of the way and take a look at the cards and the tokens. And we'll see how they look. Okay, so first things first, we've got a little baggie with 9 little crystals in it. These are kind of cool, but there's only 9 of them, so you don't want to lose them. They are very, very small. But they are kind of strange shaped. I don't know if this is something that would be easy to track down to replace or not. Probably not. But they are very tiny. And there are only 9 of them, so don't lose any of them if you can avoid it. Next we have a little bag to put stuff in. It's kind of a nice little thing. It's very thin, not very high quality. Probably won't hold up real long, but it's pretty neat. Then we've got little character stands here and our dice. Alright, so for the stands, these are pretty standard stands that you see nowadays. And it looks like we have 8 of them. So there are 8 of those stands. And they're in the same bag as the dice. We've got a gray 6-sided dice, just the standard die. But then we also have a 6-sider with little squares on it. And it's not a 1 through 6. So we've got the 1, and then we rotate. There's 4 spaced out ones. Then there's 4 in the opposite pattern. And then there's these 5, and then a normal 5. And across from the 1, we've got that one. So this one you'll definitely want to make sure is in the box because it's a weird one, and this is going to be a real pain to reproduce or find a replacement for. You probably could get one from the company, I don't know. I doubt it's sold on its own, and tracking one down might be expensive or pain in the butt. And we've got this big bag full of stuff. This is where we're going to have all our other tokens and whatnot. So first we've got these big round discs. So let's see what these look like. Alright, so we've got these 4 beat colored ones. They're pretty standard wooden circles, nothing particularly fancy. A little bigger than an American quarter. Then we've got these green ones. There's 12 of these. Same size as the red ones, or whatever color that is. Almost purple. It's like a darker than a burgundy. But these green ones are the same size and shape. So, yeah, not a lot of these, so don't lose the reds. You're definitely not going to be able to replace those particularly easily. So let's get these out of the way. And let's see what this baggy's got. Alright, so we've got a little gray figure here. This weird egg-shaped football type thing. What are clearly some teeth. That's another figure. Some bones. I'm guessing this is probably the sleeping dragon. And then you've got your awakened dragon. Looking all roary. So we got dragons and some other stuff. I'm not sure what they are, but there's only one of each, so don't lose any of them. But I would definitely be aware of that. These are pretty nice. They're wood, painted. Nothing particularly overly fancy about them, but this one would probably be... It looks a lot like the wyvern symbol from the old card game. But, yeah. So I would be aware of that. Just kind of make sure nothing's broken or missing. As usual. Alright. Next baggie contains little flat blocks and some purple stuff. So we've got these 6 gray squares. These little purple, I don't know what these are, but they're purple. Let me see the instruction book, see if it tells me what these things are. Oh, those are rock slide tokens. And then we've got this one, which I'm guessing is some sort of fire. Again, these are small, easily lost. So let's get those out of the way. Next up we have some little blocks, little squares. Let's see here, we've got 15 of these brown ones. There are only 2 green. Six gray, 4 red, and 8 yellow. Now these are just standard blocks. They're a little larger than like the pandemic ones, but these would be fairly easy to replace at least because they are just little blocks. But you'd have to probably cut a piece of wood and paint them, or find somebody that's already done that for you. So again, you don't want to lose those green ones because those are only 2. If you don't want to have to cut some wood up and replace them. And then our last little baggie has these like treasure chest looking things, which I'm guessing what is in here anyway. And these are all the same size and color, so. And there are 12 of these. So that's what they look like on their side. They have kind of this rounded thing. That's why I think they're probably representing treasure chests or something. So there's 12 of those. Now, all in all, these pieces look fine. They're really good quality overall. And they are wood, so that is nice too. But you'll want to make sure that you have all your pieces accounted for. And next we'll look at the cards. Okay, we'll start with this pack. There are actually 2 sets here. We'll start with this one and see what these look like. So let me get the seal off of here and we'll take a look. Okay. Okay, so first up we've got this card. It says the cavern is collapsing. And on the other side it says the cavern grows. Then we start getting into the specific cards for different people. So, for example, we're going to start with these black ones. They all say difficulty on them. They're for the different player types, and we're going to look at all of them. Then at the bottom we've got some power cards, and those pick up in the power deck here. I'm calling it that. I don't know what it really is called. So let's start with these ones for the thief. So there are 5 of these. That's what the back looks like. And we've got footpad, burglar, thief, prowler, and lastly invader. And I think these are your goals. You get one of these cards and you're supposed to figure out how to accomplish the goal on it. That's what I'm guessing. Alright, let's get those out of the way. And here's the cave. And we've got lava tube, spillway, cave, great cave, and grand cave. So that's all of them for the cave. I think there's only 5 for each of these, so. Alright, next up we've got the dragon. And we have hatchling, whelp, dragon, elder dragon, and ancient dragon. Then we have the goblins. And we start with miscreant, boss, chief, master, and lastly warlord. So that's those. It looks like they're pretty standard. Let's look at the knight. And that's the back of the knight card. Pretty cool. Alright, we've got novice. Then we have squire. Then we have knight. Then we have baroness. And lastly, lady. Alright. And that's those. Then we have what are called the war cards. Looks like there's 10 of these. And we've got Pain, Desperation, Fear, Hate, Ruin, Waste, Desolation, Consumption, Spite, and lastly, Thirst. Now the card quality is really good. The art imagery is good. They've put some design work into this. I'm actually really impressed with these cards because the outer box kind of gives the impression that they didn't really put a lot of effort into this, but the cards are definitely making up for it. They have a nice feel. They're pretty high end. Not quite linen backed, it doesn't seem, but they might be. And then we've got 5 of these variant cards. The first one is Past Plunder, Goblin Infestation, Flare, Ash Dragon, and lastly, Alone in the Dark. And these all look pretty cool. Alright, let's check out these power cards, and then we'll get to the other pack, because it's got some more power cards in it. Power cards look pretty cool. Alright, so we've got a wing, another wing, third wing, fourth wing, fifth wing, sixth wing, a flame, second flame, a third flame, fourth flame, fifth flame, sixth flame. Then we've got a claw and a second claw. Now we have to open our other pack, which I'm guessing we're going to see some more claws. With some of these not having very many cards and no apparent duplicates, you might want to get some sleeves for them. I know there's a lot of people making card sleeves these days, so it shouldn't be hard to find some decent quality ones. Okay, so we've got 4 more. I'm guessing these are all claws. Yep, there's a claw. There's another claw, 5th claw, and a 6th claw. Okay, then we've got some event cards here. Looks like there's quite a few of these. $15 of them. And the first one is Deep and Dark. Another Deep and Dark. Third Deep and Dark. Then we have Rats. Second Rats. Third Rats. Then we have Cave Bread. That sounds lovely. Then we have Fresh Water. Fresh Air. Vantage Point. Light. Ambush. Another ambush. Third ambush. And finally a 4th ambush. Alright, those look cool. Next up we have some treasure cards. And there are 7 of these. First up we have an enchanted bow. A pixie lantern. Heroic boots. Potion kit. A mighty axe. Elvish sword. And a javelin. Alright, let's get those out of the way. Next cards are secrets. There are 10 of these. We have hiding spots, a trap, hex, fire bomber, blind fury, goblin ruby, a leader, poison, cave in, and lastly secret tunnels. Alright, again, the card quality is pretty nice, so I'm not disappointed by that. Next up, we've got some monster cards. 8 of these. We've got a flame giant. The art style is very cartoonish, but it's pretty well done for what it is. We've got a blob, underworm, bright beetles, wisp, a gnome, a golem, and lastly a troll. Then we've got some side quest cards. Oh, there's some extra monster cards filtered in with those side quest cards. So let me do those real quick. There's an ogre and a pet frog. So we've got 10 side quest cards. That's what the back looks like. Pretty straightforward, looks vaguely like a map. We have adventurous. We have bedecked, cunning, fearless, daring, persistent, and eagle-eyed, swift, intrepid, and finally stalwart. Alright, the game looks pretty fun. I'm intrigued to see how it plays. We've seen what's inside, looked at the pieces. It looks good. The box quality is deceptive because the box does have kind of a cheap feel to it. But overall, since it's a 1 to 5 player game, it's got a lot of potential. And I think it looks like it might be a lot of fun. So, we've seen the pieces. The interior quality is a lot better than the box would lead you on to believe. And if you buy it used, you'll kind of know what to expect. That should be here now. And I think it looks like it's worth checking out. So, but we've seen the contents and you've heard my opinion on it. So that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss future unboxings and reviews. And we hope to see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.